I know you won't be surprised. The first thing I'm going to do is to talk about safe handling and shotguns. And there's one very, very simple golden rule. Here are guns in their bags, which we call slips. When I take the guns out, I'm going to do it in a way that assumes they might be loaded. So, taking the gun, taking the barrel end down, keeping the barrels pointing away. The stock appears. Note I've kept my finger away from the trigger. I use that top lever and I open it. Now everybody's nice and relaxed and happy because they can see the gun is empty. So let's do that again. Barrels to a safe place. The stock appears. I've kept my hand away from the trigger. I use that top lever and I open it.
It's a nice looking gun.
I'm glad you like the look of it, Iwan, because this is the one that you're going to use. And this smaller one, Zoe, is the one you're going to use. And note when I picked them up, I automatically kept the barrels away from you and I used this top lever. I'll show you more closely. I used my body as a rest. I push the top lever to the right and I open it. And that's the golden rule of safety. If I ask you to pick a gun up, please open it. Now a little more. The safety catch, this thing here. Because these are clay shooting guns, the safety catch is manual. It can be put on and off any time. And the way we use them is we have the safety catch off and it stays off. That means whenever the gun is closed, it's actually live. So you keep your finger there, rest the gun against your body, you drop the cartridge in, don't worry, I'll be showing you again, and to close the gun, you push it away from you hard. A couple more things on safety. The gun only points at that clay target. The clay target that you saw is the target you're going to shoot, and that's all the gun will point at. When you've got the gun closed, to make it gun comfy here, you lift the front end up, bring the whole butt, and you lock it tight there. So that butt sits in the shoulder pocket, the hand right round the grip, and you'll hear me say lock. That means the gun is tight in the cheek. Now a few minutes ago I got you to point at that target, and that's actually how we use the shotgun. That little bead on the end, not a sight, that's treated just like the end of your finger. So, as right-handers, you'd be holding the gun like that. That's a nice loose hold. This is a nice tight power grip. For your comfort, we've got the pads in here. We've also done things to the gun to make them nice and comfy to shoot. This is a 28 gauge. A small caliber, nice and comfy, not too much explosive in the cartridge. This pad, a special substance, absorbs 30% of the recoil. Another pad here which takes the shock wave out of the cheek, so you can hold it really tight and it's nice and comfy. And there's also some lead in there to put weight behind the action. When you're firing the gun, having fired the first shot, bang, your movements are finger off the trigger, gun down to there, cant it over and open it. Now the cartridge you fired will eject. Don't worry where it goes. Should it happen to hit you, it won't hurt you. It's not hot like a bullet case, and you'll see me try and catch it anyway. But don't worry about anything. The final thing, if anything distracts you, you may have said pull to get the clay to fly. You don't feel comfortable. You're distracted by a noise. Don't feel because you've asked for the clay you must shoot. If you feel distracted, you take your finger off the trigger, you bring the gun down like I showed you, and you open it. So we're now ready to shoot this clay. Now it's important that we all have our earmuffs on, and we keep them on now whilst we're shooting. So nice and comfy with the glasses, comfy with the earmuffs. Zoe, you're going to shoot a 28 gauge, and Ewan, you're going to shoot a 20 gauge.
Oh.
Does that
Mine
mean she's
sounds more
got a
difficult.
0.8 more chance of hitting than me?
It means that Zoe's cartridges come out of a smaller diameter, so the spread is a little narrower.
Oh,
So
better
it
for me then.
means that when she's hitting the clay, she's doing exceptionally well.
Oh, so you've made it harder for me?
Yeah, but
you
I
don't
just,
like me.
I just feel that you've got lots of natural ability.
Oh, great. So I'm a duffer.
That remains to be seen, Ewan, but I'm sure you're going to be okay. Because there are two different calibers of cartridges here, people who do what I do, we're quite paranoid about mixing them on our purpose. I'll show you why in a moment. So I'm going to give you the cartridges straight away. Now a right-hander should load from her or his left pocket. So in that
Okay.
left-hand pocket of the vest, we're going to give you a few cartridges because it's the left hand that loads for the right-hander. You'll see your cartridges are slightly bigger.
I think that's cheating.
They're the 20 gauge. And again, you're going to put them in your left-hand pocket.
Lovely.
Okay. I mentioned our worry about mixing calibers, and I'll show you why that is.
So not much difference on it.
No, I think mine's definitely the better one.
Feminine.
Right, now
Yeah.
the 20 gauge that Ewan is going to use. You see the diameter is bigger. This is a 28, it's empty, a 28 gauge cartridge. That little 28 gauge cartridge would slip inside the chamber and it would stop at the end of the chamber. If I was excited in a hurry, I would think perhaps I've dropped it. I could put the 20 gauge cartridge on top, I'll take that out, and then I could close the gun. And if I fired the gun then, the barrels would blow. And I don't do that to frighten you, I'm just doing it to explain why we're so careful not to mix calibers on our person.
What would happen if the barrel blow? Would that like backfire?
It could actually cause you a serious injury.
Okay.
But of course that won't happen to